Hello everyone, thank you for being here. So today we are going to talk about AI Notetaker, AI Notetaker. So and how the innovation is moving pretty fast, and like every 3 months, what we do nobody knows in advance. So I start to beginning with my talk. I want to explain you a little bit about what's the little story behind the big story of the AI, and a few things that typically people were missing. So only 20 years ago, the dominant player was IBM, Google in AI, and at this time, especially Google thought that that will, of course, change the way of doing Google, but they have developed something very powerful in parallel with IBM. And I remember having attending to a presentation in 2015 where Google was saying, you ask for a sentence and you get back a complete result, very amazing. And at that time, it was not the case. You just end up with a link to an article, and I was saying, he's describing something which is not happening. And now I understand. So what happened is, at that time, they have developed their technology, the equivalent of OpenAI, but they were scared of deploying this technology. And what happened in the same time is Elon Musk, he anticipates, okay, the future is AI. So he has met Google, he has met IBM, he put some money in them, in their technology, and then he realized, okay, the future will be absolutely amazing. And then he was talking with, that's what he claims, with the top guy of Google, and then he was saying, but AI is going to replace human. He's going to replace the job. And so he was becoming a little bit scared, and the top guy of the CEO of Google said, yeah, what's the problem? What's the problem if job disappear? It's the evolution. It's the technology evolution. So then, that's what he claims again. He said, okay, it's not good. I want to do something different. So he decided to launch a new AI company, and he did it with Sam Altman. So everybody have heard, of course, of Sam Altman and OpenAI. And his idea, again, that's what he claimed, was, okay, let's make AI completely open. Let's make it more or less free to everybody. So instead of having a few Gafam who completely dominate the AI, let's have something that everybody can share, and probably that will save the humanity. So in a way, by doing that, the world has changed, as we know, because now AI is everywhere. But what happened in between? He has this idea, let's make it open, and now. So only in 2015, he has started this company with little money, 100 million, and Sam Altman. But very soon, this company went very well, and AI technology developed extremely fast. And people within OpenAI realized, okay, we are going to make a lot of money. So they have changed the way of the concept was done right from the beginning by moving from an open and, let's say, Loi 1901 in French, or Loi or ASBL in Belgium, or let's say something which is just shared in between an association, to move to a company making money. And at that time, so Elon Musk has quit the company. But, and that's very important to understand the world we are now, all the people within OpenAI said, oh, I have been hired to, in a way, save the world by doing AI free, open to everybody, and now we are going to make money. So all the source code went public at that time. And that's changed completely a lot of things, because if company like Mistral can be that successful in just 2 years, it's because everything is more or less public. Of course, you need to be very good, but instead of having just one GAFA or one big company who owns AI and the rest of the world is slave, instead you have many pop-up company who can really start, and it's pretty funny now again, the small story in the big story, and it has unpacked us Leexi, which is an an AI note taker, a model, speech to text, a free model, Whisper, coming from OpenAI, completely free, has become popular, and when at that time he was competing with Microsoft Azure translation, and Microsoft, they put a lot of money, I think it's 10 billion in OpenAI, but all of a sudden they realized that the best model on the market, better than their model, was free, just because the employee, they have put the model on the market. So now the Azure model for translation is not anymore Azure translation, it's OpenAI. So the Whisper model, so even Microsoft, they put 10 billion to be the only one to get access to the technology. They had to incorporate a free model, which they didn't pay, and that we are using now. So now what's intelligence? Because everybody's speaking about artificial intelligence, and it's very interesting to again understand what's behind this concept. So an interesting thing is intelligence has been discussed right from the beginning. It's probably one of the first things which has been discussed when people have started to be able to talk. And my preferred definition is the one from Aristotle, even so you had other people who talk about, every philosopher have think about it. And Aristotle, what they say is intelligence, to be clever, is when you can name things, when you can touch things, and when you can make things. And so today, if you look at OpenAI, it's not even close to intelligence. It's just calculation. But using OpenAI, or using the way OpenAI is developing, it will go very, very fast, very close to intelligence. Because if you have a robot who can make things, touch things, teach things, then you are very close, that close to intelligence. And just food for thought, but things are really going pretty fast. And even so, today, what we call artificial intelligence is just computation. It's not even close to intelligence, but it will bring us very, very, very close to intelligence. And last thing very interesting is Teilhard de Chardin. Maybe you have heard about this Catholic priest philosopher, but 120 years ago he has developed a concept which has been completely forgotten, noosphere. And this concept describes OpenAI. It's pretty amazing how people have already think about what could be the future, the fact that people share information, and this information could be used for good or for bad, of course. That's what everything can be used for good or for bad. Okay, so I have no time for that. Now, what do we do for Leexi? Little bit introduction and how. So we are, and to understand about again the world we are here, I like to compare with plane. If you think about Boeing and Airbus industry, they are doing the engine and the airplane. This is a 100 billion business, 100 billion, and this plane are used by airline company. It's a 1,000 billion business, and people are using the plane to go for tourism, and it's a 10 times bigger business. It's the same with AI. So AI, you have a few company doing the LLM, so the large language model, and it's a 100 billion business. And then there is company around it improving, like us. and it's a business 10 times bigger, around 1,000 billion. And people using our tools, it's again a 10 times bigger business. So you have, when you use a tool, you have to, okay, what I'm doing? Am I LLM, or are you using a tool like Leexi, or do you want to play in a business model like Leexi, which is improving LLM, but we are not doing LLM, but we are improving it. So at some point, by the way, we could be absorbed by LLM, everything we do. Or are you just using it? And again, it's 10 times business bigger, but it's pretty important to understand how the world is structured, because then you see the difference in between an LLM and company like us, which is not an LLM, but very close to the heart of artificial intelligence. So today, an AI note taker is a pretty complex thing to do, but pretty easy to use. Actually, it's even extremely easy to use because it's all automatic. But basically, our tool is connected to calendar, and with the calendar, we get the info. You have a meeting, automatically an assistant is coming in the meeting, and then is recording, taking notes, and you hang up with your phone call or your video conference. Boom. You get summary, chapterization, to-do list, AI insight, advice, coaching, any kind of stuff, and it can be sent to many places: CRM, Slack, your email, and so on. It can do things, can make ticketing. So what's interesting, and that's one of the heart of my presentation, is so 18 months ago, when we arrived with the first summary in Europe, not in the world, but in Europe, definitively, I think we were the very first with this summary, and people were amazed. They were, wow, the summary, how come? Now, when you see the summary we did 18 months ago, you say, wow, summary is nothing, it's obvious. But people, after the summary, they say, okay, nice, summary is good, but you know what? I'm speaking different language. Can you detect automatically the language? So then we had to work. Okay, let's work on the multiple language. And then people said, yeah, but you know what? But I'm joining different video conference, and I need this AI note taker in all the environment. Okay, yes, okay, we are going to work on that. And then the people were saying, yeah, but you know what? We need to detect who is speaking, and very precisely, and we need to detect different people in the same room. So the limit is moving all the time. And then they say, can you write me the email? So we say, okay, we can do it. And then people were asking, okay, can you coach my team? Can you detect if my team is following a certain pattern? So the question rising with this new technology is moving every month after month, just because what we are doing now was completely impossible 3 months ago or 6 months ago, and that's funny that now what we are going to compute in 6 months, we have no idea. We will discover along the road. So what are the next frontier? For instance, is real-time, or adding slide on, so you present slide and we can add slide on your summary, or all kind of new stuff we don't even imagine. So instead of, so I prepared some a few testimonial. So yeah, I like to say our competitor, they write the testimonials, and we are completely different. We just don't ask for testimonial, they come to us. And I like to say what customers they say the most is, Leexi, we change life. And I like that very, very much, of course. So I see 5 more minutes, perfect. So right now there is definitively some limitation with the system, but the limitation is moving, if not disappearing. Like for instance, the model, it's really based on what's inside the model. So the question is how far is going to go the model, and it can be dangerous, of course, if you use it badly. You can use it as a toxic manager. You can use it to do bad things, and there is ethic problem, and we are, and as an editor, we have already faced some ethic questions. So that's the first time I had to fire the customer. He was working on pornographic tools. So for us, it was a completely no-brainer. We don't want that kind of customer. Even so, it's legal. It's not our ethic. So yeah, I'm going to yeah, of course. So since we are in a Odoo show, well, I can say a few words. I mean, an AI Notetaker is integrated with Odoo. What I realized during these 3 days is we had many questions requesting, okay, you are integrated with the CRM, but I want the integration with the human resource, with the planning, with the task manager, and so the more people I talk, the more I realize, oops, we need to integrate Leexi to so many Odoo stuff. Definitively, what I can say is, why do we change life with many customers is because we do stuff automatically. If you have a CRM, the worst thing is to fill in your CRM whatever you are doing. If you are in human resource or sales or after sales, of course, this is the stuff you don't want to do, but you have to do. And with an AI Notetaker, it's done completely automatically. So we are quite convinced that this is the future, that our tool will be integrated with Odoo quite at different place, because it helps to sell Odoo, of course, but to improve the experience of people using in real life. 2 minutes, perfect. One of the questions I got often is, okay, what's next? So we had a big change, world, if not revolution, with the arrival of OpenAI, and the question is, okay, what could be the next move? So I've tried to ask myself this question, and I've looked at the size of a brain. So basically, when the quantity of information which is fed to OpenAI will reach the size of the number of synapse connection in a brain. And when you do this computation, taking into account that every year, more or less, or every 18 months, we double the capacity of the computation and the capacity to feed more stuff in OpenAI, then you arrive at this anticipation. So OpenAI arrived here, but that's what people call artificial general intelligence, so AGI. Could be, so some people are saying it will never happen, but in reality there is a good chance that that happen. And when that, what does it mean? That means that a computer is as clever as a human brain. So theoretical, by just doing what I said, it could happen in 30 years. And then the next point, what would be the next point, is when computation is as big as the 8 billion of people around the planet. That's another 30 years or 50 years. So that could be the two next huge steps in not evolution, but in the game. So what happened at that time? If we anticipate a little bit, for instance, artificial intelligence, they will ask for rights. Okay, I want the rights not to be unplugged. I'm not sure I want to grant them that kind of right. But yeah, that's about it. Food for thought. Thank you. So I have not the QR code for the questions. Unfortunately, I thought I had, but so if somebody has a question, I see the microphone is not far. If somebody want to step in to ask questions, Bernard or okay. So that's number one question is confidentiality and sovereignty. So if I advertise a little bit Leexi, then we one of our unique selling point is to be ISO 27, which means we have followed very strict pattern, all kind of test, penetration test, and so on the security. For an AI note taker, you have 4 steps, and at every steps there is a risk that info goes to US. That's exactly what happened to all of our customers. First step is the recording. It's done in AWS Paris. Then it's transcription. It's done in Paris by Azure or Gladia, which is a Paris based company. Third step is LLM, so to do the summarization. So for us, it's Azure / OpenAI. So they bought the code, as I said, 10 billion. And so we are connected only to Microsoft in Paris. Nothing goes to US. Nothing goes to OpenAI. I don't, be careful. I'm not sure you want to trust OpenAI in US. And then the last but easy part is the storage. So of course, everything is encrypted. AWS in Paris. So we are probably the only tool completely sovereign with very high quality.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation. I just had 2 questions. The first one, I had the chance to speak with your son regarding the data, how it is encrypted. So how do you store actually the data from the conferences? How do you share them? And how do we access it, basically?
Okay, several questions. So on the storage, as I said, it's AWS Paris. So it's all encrypted during any transfer or at rest, so when it is stored. But the access is a very good question. Access is there's many subject on access. First, within a company, who can access the data? Because depending on the size of the company, if you have a small size company doing sales, of course they want to share everything. But if you are a lawyer, even in between a lawyer, it has to be completely clustered. Nobody has to access it. And or if when we sell to very big company, very big corporation, then they always come back to one guy, one data, and nobody can access. Even the boss in this company, the manager, they have no right to access to any data. And so another point is what do we store? So there is more and more company. First it came. I want to not to have a data store for 5 years or even 2 years because of the climate change. But there is more question. It's okay. I don't want the data because it has personal information, and so now we have added settings, so everybody can choose how long the video, how long the audio, how long the transcription, and how long the summarization is stored. And I've been amazed that many companies now are choosing audio, video. We don't store. After one day, we delete the info and we just keep the summarization and the notes. It's becoming more and more in the mentality just to store the let's say the efficient info, but not the rest.
Thank you. I just had another question regarding your competitors. I know that there is Odoo AI, Turbo Transcript, but I was more thinking about Copilot, which also includes the transcripts and also plugging it into the Excel, the PowerPoint, and gives you summaries. How do you differ, or what's your competitive advantage actually on the market right here?
Thank you very much, actually, for this fantastic question. So, for me, Copilot, it's like Excel. To give you so Excel, everybody has Excel. Everybody will use Excel time to time. So Excel is a fantastic tool to be able to test an idea, to do a sample things, but with Excel, and there is a financial company who are doing Excel for very complex thing right now. You can actually recompute Odoo if you want with Excel, but don't do it. It's the same with us. So Copilot is a pretty nice tool to play with, to test idea, to play with it eventually, to fine-tune new idea and to launch a new business. But when you want a tool which is very specialized, very sharp, with high-level automatization, you are using Odoo, you are using HubSpot, or you are using Leexi. So I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, in a big corporation, you still have Copilot. But for the team who need, as I said, automatization, customization, then you have an AI-NotetakerThird, and the best one is Leexi.
Can finish the session.
Okay, thank you very much.